Okay, so we're in the midst of the period of counting the Omer, right? On the second day of Pesach, we started counting the Omer.
Yep.
So this is called Sephirah. That's the Hebrew Sephirah. The word actually means counting. It's as simple as that. And the name is derived from the practice of counting the Omer, which is so the Sephirah period is a time of sadness. So let me go back. Okay, I'll give you this introduction, then I'll get into the specifics. I'm kind of lobbing back and forth. I apologize. So the important thing to know is that during the counting of the Omer, because it's a period of sadness, we don't do celebrations, right? The rabbis grow their beards. We don't have lavish weddings. We don't have lavish parties. We don't do celebrations because it's considered a period of sadness. So according to the Talmud, this is because 12,000 of Rabbi Akiva's disciples died one year between Pesach and Shavuot. Now, I was always taught his students died. I didn't know it was 12,000.
That's a big number.
That's a big number. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The rabbis explained that this massacre took place because the disciples did not respect each other. Now, there's two different interpretations on that, and I'll see if this gets to it. Historians connect the event with the Hadrianic persecution, which followed the Bar Kokhba revolt, in which Rabbi Akiva was involved. Okay. Some associate the somberness of these days with an even earlier period of Jewish history. The fruits of the field ripening during the time encompassed during Sephirah, which is the counting of the Omer, is a period of uncertainty, of hope and prayer that our physical sustenance will be continued in abundance. A contemporary scholar has suggested that this uncertainty was due in particular to the fact that in Israel, the hot winds that are so harmful to the crops blow between Pesach and Shavuot. Okay, so they were on shpilkes the whole time. They were very uncertain, right? Worrying about the crops. I get that. The Omer could no longer be brought to the Temple of Jerusalem after its destruction. The counting was continued, however. Hence another reason for sadness. So now they're sad, right? They still have to count it, but they can't bring it. It was easy to superimpose other sorrowful memories on such a period, and the Hadrianic persecution was the most prominent of these. The Crusades added another reason for sorrow, especially for the Jews of Germany, since the massacres perpetuated by the Crusaders also took place at this time of year. Another reason for sadness was added in modern times. While the crematoria and gas chambers of the Nazis operated all year round, some notable tragic events took place in the Sephirah period, so between Pesach and Shavuot. The Parliament of Israel fixed the 27th day of Nisan as Memorial Day for those slaughtered by the Nazis during World War II. In addition, the day before Israel Independence Day is called Yom HaZikaron for those who died in the War of Liberation. The last great deportation to the gas chambers, that of the Jews of Hungary, took place during the Sephirah period. So, we just keep throughout history realizing that this time of year for us is full of very tragic events. These sad events are memorialized by our refraining from participation in joyous events during this period. No weddings should take place, and it is customary not to have your hair cut. No event involving music and dancing should be scheduled during Sephirah. The one interruption in this doleful period is Lag BaOmer, the 33rd day of the counting of the Omer, which falls on the 18th of Iyar. Evidently, on this day, there was an interruption in the oppression, and hence the requirements of Sephirah were waived. Okay, so let's go to my screen. Roll tape, as they say in the football world. Oops, wrong screen. Let me find the right screen. Here we go. Here we go.
Rachel,
Yeah.
I ask you, do they still follow that rule about no marriages, no haircut in the period while you're counting the Omer?
So different communities do different things. I've done a lot of reading, as I like to do before I teach this. Some communities will have small, quiet weddings that have no music, no dancing, that sort of thing. Certainly most rabbis I know do not shave their beards during Sifriyah. That's why they look all shaggy up until Lag BaOmer. We'll read this and see. So this is Chabad.org. I often love how much information they give us. So let's see if it answers your question, okay? More than I just answered it.
Okay.
Okay, so this repeats what I just said, which is Lag BaOmer, the 33rd day of counting of the Omer. So it's a festive day on the Jewish calendar. It is celebrated with outings, which children traditionally play with bows and arrows. That has to do with some revolt that wasn't included in my reading, but bonfires, parades, and other joyous events. Many visit the resting place of the great sage and mystic Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the anniversary of whose passing is on this day. So this is at Meron in northern Israel. I will tell you that in doing my research, and I read an article that was just posted in the last few days in a Jewish newspaper that there are communities that want to ban Lag BaOmer because these bonfires have gotten out of control. So, I mean, freewheeling bonfires are not safe these days. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, so what's up? Why do we call it Lag BaOmer? This is important for you guys being Hebrew students. The word lag is made of the Hebrew letters Lamed and Gimel, which together have the numerical value of 33. So it's just two letters, Lamed Gimel, but we pronounce it lag. And BaOmer means of the Omer, so the 33rd day of the Omer. So Lag BaOmer, let's see, they keep repeating themselves. This year it's always the 18th of ER. What happened on the 18th of ER that's worth celebrating? Okay. So we know why we're being sad during this period. Why on this day do we start coming out of the sadness and celebrate? So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who lived in the 2nd century of the Common Era, was the first to publicly teach the mystical dimension of the Torah known as Kabbalah or Kabbalah. I pronounce it Kabbalah, and is the author of the classic text of Kabbalah, the Zohar. On the day of his passing, Rabbi Shimon instructed his disciples to mark the day as the day of my joy. The Hasidic masters explain that the final day of a righteous person's earthly life marks the point at which all their deeds, teachings, and work achieve their culminating perfection and the zenith of their impact upon their lives. So each Lag BaOmer, we celebrate Rabbi Shimon's life and the revelation of the esoteric soul of Torah. Lag BaOmer also commemorates another joyous event. The Talmud relates that in the weeks between the Jewish holidays of Passover and Shavuot, a plague raged among the disciples of the great sage Rabbi Akiva. So this is those 12,000, okay? And Rabbi Akiva was a teacher of Rabbi Bar Yochai. Because they did not act respectfully towards each other, this is what we read before, this is why some plague descended upon them. These weeks are therefore observed as a period of mourning with various joyous activities proscribed by law and custom. On Lag BaOmer, the death ceased. Thus, Lag BaOmer also carries the theme of loving and respecting one's fellow, Ahavat Yisrael. Okay, so here's the bonfire. We're not going to play this. Since this is the day of joy of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, there are major festivities in Meron, the mountain village in northern Israel where he is buried, with tens of thousands of pilgrims pouring in from all corners of the world to rejoice together in unity. All over the world, it is customary to spend the day outside, enjoying the natural beauty of God's world. During these outings, it is customary to play with bows and arrows. Yeah, I didn't do that. I remember, as I say, running, having relay races and those kinds of things. The mourning practices of the Omer period are lifted for this day. As a result, music is playing and people are singing and dancing with abandon. Little boys who turned 3 during the Omer period but did not have their first haircut due to the mourning laws have them today, often at Meron, and weddings can be held. Recognizing the fiery spirit of the mystical teachings that are celebrated today, bonfires are kindled. Customary foods for the day include carob, which miraculously sustained Rabbi Shimon and his son when they were hiding from the Romans, and eggs, a sign of mourning.
I remember the eggs from when I was little, and I kept thinking, am I just confusing that with Easter? So I'm relieved to find out it's a real memory.
Good, yes. Beginning in the 1950s, the 7th Lubavitcher Rabbi, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson, encouraged Jewish children to join together in grand Lag BaOmer parades as a show of Jewish unity and pride. Held in front of the Lubavitcher World Headquarters in Brooklyn, New York, the parades attracted and still attract thousands of children from all walks of life. In 1980, the Rebbe gave instructions that Lag BaOmer parades and children's rallies should take place not only in New York, but across the world, especially in Israel. Thousands of children participated in the tens of rallies that took place that year, and to this day, Chabad organizes hundreds of Lag BaOmer parades around the world every year. Okay, so that's this article. Did that answer your question, Lenore?
Yeah, I guess so. I actually have another question. I see that the letters of the Hebrew alphabet have numerical value.
Yes.
And can you explain that to me?
I can.
Yeah. Gematria.
Gematria, exactly. I was going to say, I can only, here, let's, Gematria, calculating, Gematria calculator. What is Gematria? Here we go. So I'm going to share my screen again, assuming I can find the button. Here we go. Okay. So Hebrew numerology is Gematria, okay?
Uh-huh.
So it is a numerological system by which Hebrew letters correspond to numbers. The system developed by practitioners of Kabbalah, derived from Greek influence, and became a tool for interpreting biblical texts. In Gematria, each Hebrew letter is represented by a number. For example, you start at the beginning. Aleph is 1, Bet is 2, okay?
Yes.
One can then calculate the numerical value of a word by adding together the values of each letter in it. So the most frequently used example is Chai. Chai means life, and Chai numerically means 18. And so it's very common, right? When Jews want to make a significant donation, they make it in multiples of 18, multiples of Chai, because of the word life. Okay, let's see if they give us that example here. Okay, in the realm of biblical interpretation, commentators base an argument on numerological equivalence of words. If a word's numerical value equals that of another word, a commentator might draw a connection between these two words and the verse in which they appear, and use this to prove their larger conceptual conclusions. So, you know, it's another layer of analysis. And there are those who really believe in Gematria, who really embrace Gematria. But so here, let's look at these values. Oh, I went a little too far. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud. You get 1 through 10, okay?
Yeah.
But then immediately following Yud, where you continue with the letters, you're not doing single digits anymore. You're doing tens. Kaf is 20, Lamed is 30. So Lamed Gimel is how you get 33 for Lag BaOmer.
Yes.
And so on, okay? While Gematria was used periodically in the Talmud and Midrash, it was not central to rabbinic literature. The rabbis occasionally employed gematria to help support biblical exegesis, but did not rely on it heavily. They were much more invested in the use of logical reasoning and argumentation to support their positions. However, gematria is essential to Kabbalah, or Kabbalah, the Jewish mystical tradition. The very basis of the Kabbalistic cosmological system rests on the belief that God created the universe through the power of the Hebrew letters, along with their numerical values. Indeed, the many names of God and their permutations in Kabbalah have numerical values that are believed to contain potent power. We'll go a little bit farther and then we'll get back to the term gematria comes from the Greek.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, geometria. And the concept can be found in the writings of the Greek philosopher Plato. In rabbinic literature, it first appears in the Bareda of the 32 Rules. I'm not familiar with this, by Rabbi Eliezer in 200 of the Common Era. This text, which no longer exists except in reference, elaborated 32 rules for interpreting the Bible. The 29th rule involved the use of gematria.
Mm.
Okay, my knowledge on gematria kind of ended with knowing that it was part of Kabbalah and the numerical values. So this is beyond me. But let's hear famous examples of gematria-based arguments. Let's take a look at a couple of these. I should have heard of some of these. One famous example of gematria is in the interpretation of Genesis chapter 14, verse 14, which appears in the Bareda of the 32 Rules and in other Talmudic and Midrashic references. This verse mentions the 318 men that made up the household of Abram. Later in Genesis, God changes Abram's name to Abraham, right? Okay, so the 318 men that made up the household, whom he took with him to defeat the armies that had recently attacked his kinsmen. The numerical equivalent of the name Eliezer, Abram's servant, is 318. Therefore, the text suggests that, in fact, it was only Eliezer that came with Abram, and not all 318 men. A Hasidic text, the Kedushat Levi, or Levi, uses gematria to draw additional conclusions from this verse. This text observes that the numerical value of the word siach, Hebrew for speaking or conversing, is 318. Therefore, the text argues that it was through the power of speaking God's holy name that Abram defeated his enemies. Much of gematria focuses, on the various names of God, and right, we read this part where we heard they repeating themselves. All right, modern belief in gematria. Throughout history, some people have believed that the Torah contains secrets that can be revealed by gematria and used to predict historical events. This belief continues to this day and was popularized by Michael Drazen's best-selling The Bible Code, published in 1997. Some Hasidic communities that are steeped in the study of Kabbalistic literature believe that the Torah, as read through the lens of gematria, contains clues to current events. Skeptics, however, have noted that gematria can be employed as proof to support diametrically opposing positions depending on the words and phrases one chooses to highlight and calculate. A somewhat tongue-in-cheek illustration of this involved an attempt to predict the 2016 United States presidential election through the gematria of the candidates' names. The author of the article showed how this line of reasoning could be used just as easily to predict the victory of either candidate. Nevertheless, gematria continues to have an appeal in some quarters.
Okay.
So there you have it.
That's a full, complete explanation. Thank you.
Yeah. But, I would say that as I already have said, that the most common use is that throughout every congregation, every Jewish philanthropic organization I have ever worked with, they understand and realize people are motivated by the number 18 and the word chai. And so they structure giving to often excuse me, be multiples of Chai.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
yeah. All right.
Including Women's League.
Completely women's league. Absolutely. Torah Fund, Women's League, you name it, right? Absolutely. Excuse me. Completely. Okay. Well, Marlene, I am so glad you're here because I queued up your prayer that you have been
How
assigned.
embarrassing. I didn't have a chance this week with graduation and Torah fun and my son in town. Although I did ask my Haftorah teacher about it. He said they only do the first line on weekdays.
And then they just hum. What I don't
I think they just hum or it's done quietly.
Okay, well, hold on. Did I also queue up? I did. All right, so I'm gonna share
Thank
my
you.
screen as soon as I find the button. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. Okay, so if you so I have it on my screen. I'm gonna make it a bit bigger. If it will cooperate with me.
My
Well,
sisters, I'm so happy to be here with you all this morning.
Good.
We're happy to be with you.
okay, so this prayer is the processional or the song that is sung while the Torah is being marched around prior to being returned to the ark at the end of the Torah service, right? And it has the same tune as what we're used to for Shabbat, but the words are not the same. It starts out the same. Yehalelu et Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado, hodu al eretz v'shamayim, vayarem kerem liyamo, tila lechol chasidav, lifnei Yisrael am karovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
That's where they stop.
And I don't blame them because anyway, but
Not
that's
that
not,
I'm cutting corners. I'm just
Yeah.
reporting the facts.
but that's not what you were told to do.
No, I was to the whole Psalm of David, the whole thing.
I am going to play for us.
Page 150.
And Toby sang it beautifully on my
Here she is.
recording.
Can you hear her?
Yep.
Vayarem kerem liamo, tehila lechol chasidam, livnei Yisrael am karovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. LeDavid mizmor, l'Adonai ha'aretz. Tevel ve'yoshvei Iruayim Yisadam V'yom neharot Yehoneneha V'ya'ale bahar Adonai Yakum Yinkom pocho Neki chapayim Uvar leva Asher lo nisa L'shviti V'lo nishbat L'mirma Yisa v'racha me'et Adonai u'tzedaka me'Eloheisho zedor dor shav mevakshe fanecha Yaakov Selah se'u she'arim ra'ashechem v'hinasu pitrei olam v'yevo el hakavod Mizemelech hakavod Adonai Izuz ve'gibor Adonai gibor milchama Se'u she'arim ra'ashechem Se'u itrei olam v'yevo melech hakavod Mihu zemelech hakavod Adonai tzedek Ma'od Melech HaKavod Elah.
Okay, there she is.
A lot of quick transitions, quick singing. Yeah.
Well, okay. Was somebody
I have 2 months and a week to map.
Marlene, can you share that recording with Geraldine?
Oh, yes, I guess I need her.
Well, we'll get to that, but sure. Okay, or maybe I can attach it when I send out.
Oh, right. I sent it to you already. Yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
have it. I'm just I'll see if I can attach it. I will try. Okay.
Thank you.
So as I say, it's the same tune. We use that tune every Shabbat. I've been singing it since I was a small child, but the words are all different down here. So, and now I was thinking, as I was listening, Marlene, that I do think at my show also, we stop at Hallelujah, and then it's just quiet while they process and put it back in the ark. So Women's League is going to be more thorough. But so I thought we could just read together. We don't have to sing it. It's going to be too challenging for us, but we can practice reading it, right? It's all, as you know, my philosophy, all Hebrew reading is good Hebrew practice. So
What's it called again?
Hallelujah.
Yahalelu. Yeah, this word right here is what it's called, Yahalelu.
Yeah, it's a little for me.
Let me see. I'll make it bigger. Well, it doesn't want to cooperate. Give me one more second. Let's see if it'll go. How's that?
There you go. That's better.
Ladies, are you okay? Can you see it? Otherwise, it's on page, if you have the Siddur Sim Shalom for weekdays and Shabbat for everything, it's on page 150 at the top of the page.
Okay.
Excuse me, I have this little.
How about Lev Shalom?
My Lev Shalom is only for Shabbat, so I don't know the answer. You're not going to find the weekday version in the Shabbat prayer book.
Right.
And I don't own a weekday prayer book except for the blue one that we got from.
Right.
Have a
This-
Sim Shalom at home.
Yeah, so this is the only weekday prayer book that I have as well. This little teeny.
And I'm guessing since this was given to us in Toby, it all matches. It's the same words.
Yeah.
What page
Absolutely.
did you? Oh, you're in that little blue book though.
I'm in the blue book because that was my assignment, page 151 in 150 and 151 in English and Hebrew. And you were pulling it out of a prayer book, right, Rachel? Or from
Right. Well, so this book that I have up, this is Siddur weekday Shacharit Siddur Sim Shalom.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Right? And if anybody has that book, let's see if I can find what page it is. Page 76 in the weekday Siddur Sim Shalom. But I don't have that version, so I only know what it.
They're in shul for morning menu when you go in.
Yeah. Okay. But can most of you see it okay on my screen?
It's too
Yes.
small. It's
Yeah.
too small for me.
Okay. I won't call on you then. I'm sorry.
No, don't. Okay, I understand. No, really.
Yeah, okay. Lenore, can you see it okay? Will you start with us up here at
Yes,
the top?
I can
Okay.
see fine. You want me to start?
I do, please.
Okay, yeah. Hallelujah.
Yes.
Et Shem Adonai Ki Niska Shemo Levado.
Beautiful. Will you read the next line?
Okay. Hodo Al Eretz Rashamayim Vayarem Keret. No, wait. Keren
Yes.
Leomo.
Le'amo. There's actually a straight line. Le'amo.
Leomo.
Will you finish the sentence?
Dehila Lechal Hasidav the Livnei Rish, no, Yisrael. Oh, Yisrael.
You got it.
Am Korovo. Hallelujah.
Perfect. So again, this is how this sounds. Hallelujah et Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado, hodu al eretz v'shamayim, vayarem kerem liamo, tehila lechol chasidav, lifnei Yisrael am karovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. So that's how I was taught to end it. She goes up instead of down, but no big deal. Okay. Marlene, will you do the next, I don't know, couple lines?
I will try because this is my assignment.
And you will do fine. Don't question yourself.
No, I've just been studying French. My brain is saturated.
This is really good for your brain.
Oh,
Multiple
it's really good for
languages
my brain.
is really good for your brain.
Okay.
And cheaper than Nariva, whatever other supplements they're selling.
No, and it's cheaper than psychotherapy. Not that you would know anything about that. Okay. Le David Mismour.
Yes, ma'am. That's
Psalm of
it.
David. I remember that from when we studied Psalms, right?
Yes.
Okay. La Adonai Eretz.
Aretz. There's a
Aretz. Sorry, I do that all the time.
Well, and unlike the word at the top, which like it's Eretz up there, but it's Aretz down here.
And that's the most we can blow it up. I'll make my own copy blown up with color. So
There you go.
La Adonai Haaretz Loach
Loa.
Loa no ha Loa Tevel
Tevel.
Tevel Vioshve
Vyoshve. Very good.
Vioshve Bat
That's a hey. Va.
Va. Okay, Va Vioshve Va. Okay. Ki hu al yamim. Okay. Yisda.
Yesada.
Yisada, there's an extra syllable in them. Yisada. Va'al Naharot.
Mhm.
You, okay. I'm staring now, forgive me. Yikonege.
Okay, so it's
Yikonege.
Yeho Nuneha. So it's two nuns, I believe.
You're right. I'm
gonna
not
check
used to
my book.
seeing.
I sometimes I think this is fuzzy, so I'm gonna check my book where I know it's
No.
not.
I don't have a blown up version yet.
No, I'm checking my book to be sure I'm telling you the right word.
Yeah. Oh. Ne.
Where are we? My book is laid out as a pure paragraph, not as so.
Yeah, mine's by a paragraph also.
Yehoneneha. So it is. It's two nuns and a hey. Nuneha.
Yehoneneha.
That's it right there.
The syllables marks. Yehoneneha. Okay.
Okay, you can stop. You've worked hard. Edith, will you continue? You have to unmute. Wait, unmute. I can't hear you.
Of course. Is it in this book?
I think it is. Look at page 150.
150? I've been up and down, couldn't find it. That'll be closer for me if I can find it in here.
So
Oh,
At the
Oh,
top of
okay.
the page, does it say reader holding Sefer Torah?
Yes. In red.
Yes, yes, it
Yes.
does.
Okay, so where we are, let me find the spot. So we are now at Mi Ya'aleh. So, okay, so in the main paragraph, so you got the first line, then you've got a paragraph down with 2 lines, yes. Then you have the next paragraph that starts LeDavid Mizmor. The line below that, go just past the halfway mark, and there's a period. After the period is where we are. Me, you see it?
No, that's okay. Just show me where you are. Let me
Okay.
use
just
the
say-
pointer. Okay.
Okay, here we are.
Me.
Me,
The
yeah.
first word is me. That's
Yeah.
where I'm gonna start.
Yes, please.
Okay. Me Ya'aleh. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Vihar Adonai Umi Yak 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 Yakum
Yes.
Bimkom Kadsho.
Perfect. Okay, will you read another line?
Okay. Napi Kapo that is that that's my sound.
You're right. That's
Um,
fine.
Payim
Right, except so the first sound has a ah with it, so it's chapayim.
Payim.
Perfect.
Okay. Uvar Levav
Yep,
Asher Lo Nasa
that's it.
Utzdaka
Oh, I don't know where you are. I think your eyes. So nasa, and then the next word starts with a lamed.
Utzdaka
No. It starts with a lamed.
I'm not on the Lamed.
I think she dropped down a line.
Oh, you did. Go back up a
Oh,
line.
I'm
I
on
mean,
the
that's
wrong
what I was
line.
looking.
You're
Okay.
absolutely right.
Nasha
Nasa.
Nasa Nasa Lashav.
Perfect.
Okay. Even with the book, it's running together. Okay. Nafshi
Yes.
below Nishba
Yeah.
Lamirma.
Good. Stop right there. Lemir Ma. Okay, so I'm going to read back what you just read. I'm not sure if you started with me, but I'll start with me. Me
Yeah, I did.
Ya'aleh, Mi Ya'aleh V'har Adonai, Umi Yakum Bimkom Kadsho, Niki Chapayim Uvar Levav, Asher Lo Nasa Lashav Nafshi Velo Nishba Lemirma. Okay. Okay. Audrey, will you continue?
Yisa, Baraka, Me'at,
Perfect.
Adonai, Utzdaka, Elohe,
Mhm.
Yish, Yisho,
Perfect.
okay. Te,
Zeh.
oh, Ze,
That's a Zion.
darn it. Ze, Do, Rasha,
Okay, now on this one, you're so close. So you have the dough.
Dor, Sha,
Slow
Shah.
down, let me explain. Okay. The resh, which is the third letter,
Uh-huh.
is gonna go with, one might look at it and think this is do ro shav, but
Uh-huh.
it's not, because the resh has two dots under it, right? Shva. So it can't have two vowels. So because the resh has a shva under it, it's gonna go with the letters that come before. Dor shav, I think is.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Door
Oh,
Shah.
okay. Oh, sorry,
That's
but now
okay.
you know exactly why you're saying that.
Right. Yeah, I don't think about it. It's just kind of based on what we've been doing.
Well, and I'm used to the word doro shav or doro something, doro, so, and I looked at it and thought immediately, oh, it's doro shav, but it's not because of the shva under the resh.
Right. Nava. What is that vowel?
So there's a shva,
No. I got that. It's under the kuf.
under the kuf is a shva, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right, because
So
it's
this
not
is gonna be
really
like the
under
word before in pronunciation, where you, right,
Navak, Shay,
yep,
Fanecha.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Akov, Selah.
Selah, stop right there. Very
Okay.
nice, very nice, very
Way
good.
to go, Audrey. I'll call you when I'm studying.
All right, I'm gonna read it back. So, Yisa v'racha me'et Adonai utzdaka me Elohei yish'o. Ze dor shav mivakshe fanecha Yaakov Selah. Okay, so now we're down here with this, the sin. Geraldine, have you read? Will you read?
It would be my pleasure to attempt to read. I can't see what you have up there very
Okay,
well. I think I found the spot.
It's the end of the line. Are you in Sim Shalom?
Yes.
yeah, the last word on the line,
I have
the
no-
fifth line down, the last word. Se'u,
What? Read the first couple words for me. Let me see if I'm finding this. You said
Se'u, Sha'arim,
okay.
Rashechem.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I found it. Okay. That's where you want me to start.
Yes,
All right. Let me see. So who? No. So
mm-hmm.
Sha. Is that what is that? Sha.
Shit. There's a two dots under the shin.
Oh,
So
Reem
yes.
Ra Sakim.
So it's a shin with an A under it. She, and then there's a yud, so it's she.
Ra Shay Kim.
Mm-hmm. Say it again.
Ra Shekem.
Rashechem. Mm-hmm.
Ra Shekem. Oh, why not? Okay. And then the next line, let me see. Let me see. Uhi Nash.
So the first letter is a vav with a shava under it, so it's going to sound like a V. And then this.
Marked out here. Okay, there you go. Wait a minute. Vahi. No.
V. It's not a, it's kind of a.
He na. That's a sin.
Yeah, you got that right.
Sin.
The aleph is silent,
Right,
and the last letter is the vowel oo.
right. But I'm trying to get that sin and the u together.
The sin and the u don't, so say them as separate syllables. He nas u.
Oh, I'm doing that wrong. Vahi nas ooh. Okay.
Because the sin has its own vowel under it, the shva, the two dots, it
Yeah.
doesn't blend into the last syllable, the u. The aleph is its own letter with its own vowel, aleph, u, so u. Vahi nas u.
Okay. That's P Pete Pete Ka.
So there's there's an A sound under the chet, and then followed by a yud, so that becomes chay. So say it again.
Pete K.
Yep.
Olam.
Yes, ma'am. Do 3 more.
Uyavo.
It's not a u, it's a v. Again,
Okay, I'm sorry.
it's okay.
The ya. Wait a minute. The ya vo.
Mm-hmm.
Melach.
Melech.
Ha. No. Hava. No. Ha. Wait a minute. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Ha. Bav.
So that's a kaf. It's a kaf.
Hakavo.
Hakavod. Exactly. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to read this back. I think you started with she'u. So, or se'u. I'm going to start here. Se'u, sha'arim, excuse me. Se'u, sha'arim, rashechem, vahin, vahin nas'u, pitchei olam, v'yavo melech hakavod.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, these are not words we're very used to. There's a bunch of words in here that I have to tell you I have not encountered before.
Amen, Rachel. I feel so much better hearing it from the teacher.
Yeah, this is not one that's real common. Lenore, will you continue here? Are you reading from my screen? Can you see where I am? You have to unmute.
Can you put the arrow up for her?
Yeah, I'm right here, me.
The
Oh, there you are.
Mize Melech Vod
Mhm.
Adonai Izus
Very good.
V'Gibor
Go
Adonai Gibor
Very good. Yes, you did beautifully. I'm going to read it to you. Mizet melech hakavod Adonai izuz v'gibor Adonai gibor milchama. So we usually say milchama, but this, yeah, but it's milchama. So I don't know. I'm used to milchama. This looks like milchama, but maybe there's a typo. I don't know.
Wait. Why would it not be meal?
Because there's no irich, there's no one dot. These are 2 shva.
Okay. No. There is one dot under the mem, right?
Not on the screen I'm looking at.
Oh, there is. There is.
On ours in the blue book, there's a mem with a single dot under it.
Yeah.
Oh, good, because
in
I'm used to this
Simcha.
word being milchama. You're
You're
right.
exactly right, Rachel.
Yeah, that's
Ours,
the word
yeah.
I'm used to. But on my screen, there's a typo. Yeah, but I thought this word was milchama. That's the
You're
word.
absolutely right. And that's the way Toby recorded it in her song.
Good, excellent. Okay, so we still have a few minutes, and come on. Why won't this screen go up? Oh, jeez. I should never touch the sidebar. Now I went way too far. Sorry, I have to get the page back. Oh my golly.
It's page 76.
Yeah, well, give me a second.
You're almost
we
there.
There you are.
Here we are. Okay. So, okay. Marlene, you're going to read a little bit more.
Okay,
You can do it, woman. You're good.
yeah.
Don't doubt yourself. And you're wide awake now. I hear it in your voice. You're wide awake.
I'll get that to you. And I'm intermittent fasting, so I'm starving.
Oh, Jesus.
Se'u She'arim.
Don't put a question mark. Just say the word.
Se'u She'arim. Okay. Ra'ashechem.
You added an extra Ra Shechem.
Ra'ashechem.
Yep.
Usu. Pitche. Olam. V'yavo melech. V'yavo melech. Melech. Hakavod. Mi hu ze melech. Hakavod. Yahayeh. I'm sorry.
Play music.
That's my ringtone.
Oh.
My landline. Yeah, I wanted everybody to hear something beautiful, so I timed it like that. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Read the
I
last.
forgot that's my landline. Okay.
Read the last 6 words.
Yeah, yeah.
Adonai.
Last 6 words. Oh, that's an Adonai.
Adonai.
Adonai. Adonai. Adonai. Sivot.
Tzivaot.
What?
Tzivaot.
Sivaot. Hu melech hakavod. Selah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to read it back to you in half a second. What I'm going to tell you is, if you haven't noticed, there's a lot, the phrase Melech HaKavod keeps coming up. So
Yep.
just it's in a lot of places, triumphant, the king triumphant. Okay. Se'u she'arim ra shechem, use'u pitchei olam. Vayavo melech hakavod, mi hu zeh melech hakavod, Adonai tzvaot hu melech hakavod, Selah.
You know, that's a real gift because by the time I get to that, I'm going to need words that I know and that are,
Exactly.
and they're familiar to me.
Right. So if you're going to take a paper copy, for instance, and highlight it, all those melech hakavods, put them together, put them in the
Okay.
same color. You're gonna get a flow.
Okay.
It's gonna be fine.
Thank you, class, for doing this. You can see what I've been tortured with.
It's okay. Even I, when I first looked at it, said, I am not familiar. I do not know this. So, okay, ladies. So today is what? Today's the 5th. Is that all? Okay. We've got just a few more weeks, so that's not going to work. I can't pull that calendar toward me. That's all right. What I'm here next Friday. I hope you're here next Friday.
I will not be. I will not be. But
You will be in London or Paris, so think of us while you're not thinking of Hebrew.
we. When I,
She got that part right.
Ken. Yeah.
And I am a anti-monarchist, so I think anyone is insane to cross the pond to go to that gigantic spectacle.
Well, just to make you feel better, my daughter's friend picked a date. They are going to a rugby match in the other direction on
Good.
Saturday.
Yeah, well, that sounds reasonable to me.
Well,
Okay.
Rachel,
Yes, ma'am.
sent you a picture of that pair of shoes.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh, I like that. We just can laugh about our past lives. Very nice. Thank you very much. Okay. Well, it's been a very challenging week for me. I am looking forward to tomorrow, and I am not going to be thinking about Women's League. At least I'm going to strive not to.
Thank you for teaching us with
Mr.
joy
Biden
and
alone.
patience and kindness. Let me know if you can't attach Toby's
Okay,
recording to the gang.
okay, very good.
What is our last class?
Well, that's what I was looking for.
Never. We always keep
Well,
learning.
I want it to be never, but I'm afraid Rachel doesn't want it to be never.
No, I didn't say with Rachel, we never stop learning.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
hold on, I need to get a different calendar because if I try to pull that one, I'm gonna knock a whole bunch of stuff over. I rearranged my desk this week and I'm still getting used to it, so. Okay, now I'm looking in this tiny Women's League calendar. I have to get the page.
I need a
So-
kosher candy place that will make like jewelry, candy jewelry.
Oh, for like the little girls we used to wear bracelets?
Look, either the bracelets, necklace, or the ring, but it has to be kosher.
Huh.
Audrey, if you're bringing it to convention, yeah, it has to have
Picture.
yeah,
That's why I'm asking.
yeah, it has to be kosher.
Yeah.
Audrey, my eyes did not deceive me. We only have 2 more weeks before Shavuot. Shavuot begins on Thursday night, the 25th. So there cannot be class on the 26th. It's Yontif. So I was planning on ending there, although those of you who have parts for convention, I was going to, I have offered you and I will be happy to continue to practice those parts with you. This is probably our best time. I know that the women in the bat mitzvah class, you have a set day, right, for all of June where you're going to be practicing. And I also know you really need to prioritize practicing this because, June is going to fly by and then you're just, and I know, there's a lot of times where you guys are going to be meeting and you're going to talk about the logistics of it, the movement of what's going on that morning in the room. You're going to be, sort of blocking who's where when. Yeah, Marlene.
I guess you already kind of answered my question that Toby had answered, is that it's okay that I have my own paper up there because
Absolutely. Positive.
and I guess I will be up there alone and someone
You're
else.
not totally alone. There'll be other women on the bima, I
Okay.
imagine. I don't think you'll be totally alone. And there'll be some of us in the room who are right there helping you. In other words, I
Okay,
might not be
because-
standing next to you, but I'll be there and I'll be singing with you.
Well, for my entire adult student Hebrew studies, I have always tried to master the correct Hebrew pronunciation of the words before the tune. But this is one tune that I'm after the first 3 lines, I'm really not familiar with. So I'm going to work on the accuracy first.
Right, that's the way to go.
And then-
Get comfortable with the words, then add the tune.
So
Thank you.
Rachel, we just have 2 more classes officially, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
are you still planning to teach something next fall, I hope?
Well, so I can't commit to you what is happening next fall, but I can say that I am responsible for the classes, all of them next fall. In other words, I'm the face, I'm taking over from Julia as the
From
face
Julia,
of the Hebrew
okay.
classes. So I will be the contact woman but I don't know, we haven't focused on that.
Yet, because of convention.
I gotta get us through convention and Julia has not had a chance to focus on this. She's got a lot of other things. She's trying to fill out her cabinet. So I imagine over the summer, there will be a meeting of the minds on this and there'll be, information that we publish to all of you.
So do you think it's possible that even though you are the new Julia, you still might be willing to teach a class?
I think it's possible, yes.
Okay, good.
What I would like to see Women's League make a curriculum out of what I have cobbled together for you guys, which is based on our calendar and putting in information. So it's not Hebrew prayer reading, it's more than that. And it's about, it's driven by the holidays and then prayers that relate to that and information about how you observe the holiday. Why is the holiday observed? Blah, blah, blah. What I've been doing with you all. And, you've been my laboratory, but I think, you all have responded very well to it.